If you're lying awake at night worrying about your bank account, wondering how people your age are buying houses and taking European vacations, you are not alone. It feels like everyone else is getting ahead while you are falling hopelessly behind. And the headlines make it worse. According to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the average transaction bank account balance for an American household is a very comfortable $62,410. If you just checked your checking account and saw a fraction of that $62,000, your instinct is probably to panic. You might think you've done something terribly wrong, but that number is a statistical illusion. Whenever financial media quotes the average American's wealth, they are usually talking about the mean. Imagine a room packed with 99 regular people who each have exactly $1,000 in their bank accounts. Now imagine Elon Musk walks into that exact same room. Because you combine everyone's money and divide it by the number of people, suddenly the average person in that room is a billionaire. This chart shows the actual distribution of American wealth. A tiny group of ultra-wealthy families with massive cash reserves pulls the mean sky high. To find the truth, we need the median, the exact middle point where half of Americans have more and half have less. The actual median bank account balance for an American household is just $8,000. And that includes checking, savings, and even prepaid debit cards combined. Below that median, things get extremely tight. Today, 43% of households couldn't even cover an unexpected $400 emergency using cash or savings. Measuring yourself against financial averages is a trap. But here is the brutal truth. In 2026, if you are exactly matching the median American standard, you are living in a continuous financial emergency. To figure out why cash is so tight, let's look at what people actually bring home. The current median household income in the United States is $83,730. And remember, household often means two working adults combining their paychecks. While nominal wages have grown recently, cumulative price increases over the last several years have eaten those gains alive. Households are severely cost-burdened by modern necessities. This bar shows that gross income, but watch what happens when the fixed costs hit. The national average for formal childcare is now over $13,000 annually per child, crushing roughly 10% of a median dual-income household's earnings. Then housing hits. Market rents have outpaced wage gains so completely that nearly half of all renters are forced to spend over 30% of their gross income just to keep a roof over their heads. With these massive, immovable fixed costs eating up the bulk of every paycheck, there is almost zero margin for error. So where does the money for groceries, gas, and life come from? It comes from debt. Overall, total U.S. consumer debt has reached a staggering $18.8 trillion. This chart breaks down that massive burden per capita across generations. Gen Z holds an average of $34,000 in debt. Millennials carry about $132,000. But Generation X takes the heaviest hit, owing over $158,000 per person. Mortgages make up a large portion of that, but the silent killer destroying budgets is credit cards. If we look specifically at cardholders who actually carry unpaid balances from month to month, the national average card debt is $7,886. Dragging an $8,000 balance with average interest rates exceeding 20% means you are paying hundreds of dollars every single month purely in interest charges. You are shoveling money into a furnace without making a dent in the actual principal you owe. When a huge percentage of your take-home pay is instantly diverted to service high-interest debt, it mathematically prevents you from accumulating any real wealth. You would hope people are at least tucking money away for the future. Financial blogs love to boast that the average 401k balance is almost $168,000. But again, that's skewed by high-income older earners. The true median 401k balance is just $44,115. To see how short that falls, we need to compare it against actual retirement benchmarks. Institutions like Fidelity recommend you should have exactly 3 times your annual salary saved by age 40 just to maintain your current lifestyle in retirement. This gauge illustrates the gap. If you are 40 years old and making $80,000 a year, you should have $240,000 saved. But the data shows the typical 40-year-old only has roughly $46,000 to their name. When you combine all of your income, cash, debt, and investments, it culminates into one final scorecard. Net worth. The mean net worth of a U.S. household looks fantastic at over $1 million, but the median net worth rests at just $192,900, and there is a massive catch to that number. A huge portion of that net worth is tied up in home equity. You might look wealthy on paper, but you can't buy groceries with drywall. It is highly illiquid wealth. These missed benchmarks are a predictable result of navigating a landscape of high housing costs and stagnant real wages. But you can break out of this median trap. Step 1 is destroying your high-interest debt. Stop putting extra money into standard brokerage accounts and aggressively attack that 20% credit card debt first. You can use the debt avalanche method by hitting the highest interest rate, or the debt snowball method by clearing the smallest balances for quick psychological wins. Step 2 is putting your remaining cash to work. Move your emergency fund out of a standard bank checking account and into a high-yield savings account that pays around 4.5% APY. Automate these transfers immediately. Set it up so the money moves to your savings the moment your paycheck hits, removing it from your primary account before you have the chance to spend it. Wealth accumulation works best when you remove willpower from the equation and turn financial discipline into an automated background process. Step 3 is exploiting the rules to your advantage. If your company offers a 401k match, you must contribute enough to capture 100% of it. Do not leave mathematically free money on the table. And if you are older and feeling behind, the tax code is explicitly designed to help you close the gap. If you are 50 or older, you can make an IRS catch-up contribution, shielding an extra $8,000 into your retirement account. If you are between 60 and 63, a new rule allows a super catch-up of $11,250 extra dollars. Staring down the actual numbers can be terrifying, but discovering the brutal truth about the average American is the exact reality check you need to make sure you never settle for being one of them.